Welcome to our Brightside Physics channel. This is Prasad. I am going to explain about the H.C. Verma Solutions chapter number 1, Introduction to Physics. That is objective 1. That is first question. That is, which of the following sets cannot enter into the list of the fundamental quantities in any system of units? A. Length, mass and velocity. B. Length, time and velocity. Mass, time and velocity. D. Length, time and mass. To answer this question, first of all, whatever the quantities are there, those I will write the formulas like the dimensional formulas. Mass, m, length, l, time, t, and velocity, lt to the power of minus 1. So, to answer this question, first of all, what I have to do? That is, length, I will write as length L, and mass, I will write as m, and velocity L t to the power of minus 1. So, now, what are fundamental quantities? Length, mass, and time. So, in this set, check that one. First, length is present. Here mass is present and time also present. So length, mass, time, all the three fundamental physical quantities are present. So that's why it comes under the set of fundamental quantities. So it is not the answer. Next, B. I will write like this. L, length, and time, that is t, and velocity L t to the power of minus 1. Observe in this one. Length is there, time it is also there. Here length and time, but here which one is missing? That is mass. So here no mass. Remember, this is very important one. Next, in this case, here I will write mass, here time, here L t to the power of minus 1. Observe this one. Mass is there, time is there, and length is also there. So it is also comes under list of fundamental quantities. So it is also not the answer. And final D. Length. I will write length L and time T and mass M. Observe this one. Length, time and mass. M, L, T, all are three present. So that's why it is also comes under the list of fundamental quantities. But our answer, which one the here? The following sets cannot enter into the list of fundamental quantities. Cannot enter. So which one cannot enter? Only the option B cannot enter into the list of fundamental quantities which are not the fundamental quantities. So he's saying here option B is the answer for the question. Now the second question, that is, a physical quantity is measured and the result is expressed as NU, where U is the unit used and N is the numerical value. If the result is expressed in various units, then what happens? Option A, N directly proportional to size of U and N directly proportional to U square and N directly proportional to square root of U and N is inversely proportional to 1 by U. To solve this question, first of all, we should have an idea. What is that? Physical quantity is equal to numerical value and unit. Remember that. Physical quantity is equal to numerical value into unit. In conversion of units, NU is equal to constant. That is, everybody should know about it. So now, I will take some example. What is that example? Is nothing but 5 kilograms of sugar. In that, 5 is the numerical value, kilograms is the unit. Remember, that is very important one. Now, I want to convert this one into another system. That is another system. So simple, see this. 5 into 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 grams of sugar. Now here what happens here? 5000 grams of sugar. Observe these two. Here 5, here 5000. Here kilogram, here gram. Observe the difference here. Numerical value increases in these two, but unit decreases. Numerical value increases, but unit decreases. So that means numerical value here, numerical value is inversely proportional to the unit. So here what happens in this case? Numerical value increases, unit decreases. So to answer this question, what happens? First, n directly proportional to u. Is it right? No. Why? Because how much amount of numerical value increases, that much amount of unit also increases. But here what happens? N increases, u decreases. So this option is wrong. Second one, n directly proportional to u square. That is also wrong. Third one, n directly proportional to root u. Is it possible? No, it is also not possible by solving this. Now, which one is suitable for that? N is the inversely proportional to u. This is the answer for question number 2. Now, the question number 3. Suppose a quantity x can be dimensionally represented in terms of m, l and t, that is x is equal to m to the power of a, l to the power of b and t to the power of c. The quantity mass A can always be dimensionally represented in terms of L, T and X. Here can never be dimensionally represented in terms of L, T and X, and C may be represented in terms of L, T and X if A is equal to 0, and D may be represented in terms of L, T and X if A not equal to 0. To answer this question, first of all, what we have to write? This can be written in terms of m to the power of a is equal to x divided by l to the power of b and t to the power of c. Why? The quantity of mass. So, and b, this is also m to the power of a is equal to x divided by L to the power of b, t to the power of c, and c, that is also m to the power of a, x divided by L to the power of b and t to the power of c. But here condition given a is equal to 0, that is if a is equal to 0, and d, that is also m to the power of a is equal to x divided by L to the power of b and t to the power of c if a not equal to 0. So these were the conditions are given. To solve this one, first of all, we will go with the C. That is, if a is equal to 0, what about the m term? If a is equal to 0, this term becomes 1. So that's why this is not possible. Why? Because may be represented in terms of L, T and X if A is equal to 0. If A is equal to 0, M term is missing. So that's why it is not possible. Similarly, for this one, can always be dimensionally represented in terms of L, T and X. If A is equal to 0, M to the power of A is equal to 1. So that means M term is missing. So always it is not possible. Then now we will go with the D. May be represented in terms of L, T and X if A not equal to 0. If A not equal to 0, then if A not equal to 0 means M to the power of A must be present. So that's why the answer is this one. Now check B. Can never be dimensionally represented in terms of L, T and X. So never be represented is wrong. So n to the power of a not equal to x, l to the power of b, t to the power of c. That is wrong. So which one is correct answer? D is the correct answer for this question. Now the question number 4. That is a dimensionless quantity. Option A never has a unit. Option B always has a unit. Option C may have a unit. Option D does not exist. To solve this type of question, check A, B, C, D. First of all, A never has a unit. A dimensionless quantity never has a unit. Take an example. What is that example? First of all, I will take as solid angle. So solid angle. Solid angle, dimensionless quantity, but it has unit. What is the unit for this one? Steradian. That means this one becomes wrong. Similarly, we will take another example also, plane angle, that is radian. So by taking two examples, this one becomes wrong. Now always has a unit. Dimensionless quantity always has a unit. To solve this one, we will take the example as strain. Strain is nothing but change in length, that is by L. So L by L becomes 0. That is 0 dimensions. L by L becomes 0 dimensions. So strain, no units, no dimensions. But here always has a unit. It is not possible. For this one, no unit, no dimension. So by taking this example, this one is also wrong. Now go for C. May have a unit. Yes, dimensionless quantity may have a unit. So that is example solid angle and plane angle. Solid angle have a unit, steradian, but plane angle, that one is radian. By taking this example, this option is correct, but D does not exist. It is not possible. Now the question number 5. A unitless quantity A never has a non-zero dimension, or B always has a non-zero dimension, C may have a non-zero dimension, D does not exist. So to solve this one, only by taking only one example, simply we will solve this one. So that example is strain, that is delta L by L. Here no units, and here dimensions m to the power of 0, L to the power of 0, T to the power of 0. This is no dimensions. So that means here 0 dimensions. Here what they ask, never has a non-zero dimension. So here we got 0 dimension. So always it is not possible. May have a non-zero dimension. It is also not possible. Does not exist. It is also not possible. Which one is possible? Only the option A only possible. That is never has a non-zero dimension. That is the answer for the 5th question. Now the question number 6. Integral dx by 2ax minus x square is equal to a to the power of n sin inverse x by a minus 1. The value of n is a 0, b minus 1, c 1, d does not exist. You may use dimensional analysis to solve the problem. So for this one, first of all I will take to solve this one LHS, that is integral of dx divided by square root over 2ax minus x square. So before only we know about it, integral does not change the dimensions of the expression. So that's why here L and here L. So is equal to 1. So that means it is dimensionless. Dimensionless. So here we are taking now RHS. In RHS, a to the power of n sine inverse x by a minus 1. So it is a trigonometric function. So trigonometric function is dimensionless. So this one is dimensionless. But what is the remaining here? A to the power of n. So it is dimensionless, it is a to the power of n. Now we are taking, this is 1. 1 is equal to a to the power of n. So this 1 can be written as a to the power of 0 and here a to the power of n. So what about n value here? 0. So now the option for this answer is A. Those who are watching my channel for the first time, like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.